Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Watch the JHS Bass Fishing Team live on Main Street TV Facebook and Total Media YouTube on Saturday.
Here we have the big bass, another over 15 inches.
And this stream is brought to you by Clark Law Office, Iron City Pipe and Supply, Raccoon Creek Outfitters, Coad, Hothead Burritos, Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am of Jackson, Search, Mike's Bait and Tackle, Brown Brothers Lube and Oil, Village Haircutters Barbershop, and Mayhew Brown Funeral Home.
Well, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where the pollen is pollinating.
Oh, man.
Whew.
Oh, man. Been coughing all morning.
It is one of those kind of, it's that time of the year, folks. So, but no, we have a very special guest in the house today, and we're going to be talking about the
Final boss coming this year again.
Final BossCon. It is not the final,
Right.
which has already been pointed out to us this morning.
Yeah, we were I'm not sure the gentleman was on, the one from Athens. And he's like, is this the last one? I'm like, nah, it's confusing.
Well, that's all right. We'll clear it all up this morning. So can you tell everybody who you are? You were here last year.
Yep. McKenzie Halley, the gentleman, I guess, who started Final Boss Con. I got a lot of people around me that help volunteer and, do a lot of work with me. So we all just keep working it more and more. And this will be our third year out at Rio.
The third year. And if everyone's sitting out there, see, you were here last year and we explained it. But if somebody missed, so they're sitting there going, what in the world is Final Boss Con, right? So What in the world is it?
It's a pop culture, anime, video game, horror, board game, tabletop. There's our logo on there. It has a bunch of guests coming this year, too. Last year we had about 4 guests. This year, as you see, we have 7, ranging from Power Rangers, Gentleman Who Wrote Night of the Living Dead, the original Mortal Kombat of Raiden, Johnny Cage, Dragon Ball Z characters, Majin Buu, Hercule. So brought some big people to Rio this year. So trying to cross all guests and all fandom.
Well, very cool. And so let's talk a minute about how Final BossCon kind of came to be.
Well, we just had our baby the April, and it was coming back to February, so sleep deprived. And I thought, hey, I got an idea. I like cons. We don't have, we have some stuff in the area. I was like, why don't we try one? It'll be, fun. And it was early February, and I thought of the idea, wrote some map stuff out, got with my wife, and I said, I'm going to take this to Rio and see. And I went 2 days later and had a meeting. They were like, how long have you been thinking about this? I said, about 12 hours. They were like, you have all this in 12 hours? I said, yeah, I might have a compulsion. We went on.
I have an issue.
Right. I was like, but we turned everything in and it went good. And then our first one was in July. So that's how short of a time frame we had to be ready. And we said, okay. And we're hoping for 200 and some guests. And we had over 1,000 show up our first year. It was wild.
That is nuts.
Wild.
Little old Rio, Grande, Ohio, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know there was that many people in Rio.
I don't think there are.
No, there's not.
I think there's 700 and some in Rio, but that's a whole other story.
That was our goal this year. We said, if we can get 2,100, which is a possibility from the numbers last year, I said, we can triple the population in Rio for one day.
Love that.
It's like, that would be insane. So we'll
Isn't
see.
that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
The coffee shop will be booming.
Oh yeah, no, they're actually Twinkleberries is actually doing the dinner and breakfast for our guests. So that
Oh,
was
are
that was
they?
extremely
Awesome.
nice. They were excited for that.
And hey, it's big stuff. You got a Taco Bell now.
I know. We get Taco Bell. We get a con. What else we getting? That's
Oh,
probably
man.
it. We might get something else soon. I'm sure. I think they're building something right on the end, heading towards Fenton, but I don't know what it is.
There's a new diner being built.
Yep, that too.
Yeah.
And a lot of improvements to the housing in Rye as well. A lot.
Yeah. See, it's a place to be. I'm telling you. If you haven't been, you need to go drive around a little bit. You might be pleasantly surprised.
It's changed in the last 6 months. You're like, oh.
It totally has. You're not kidding. And you might get to see Mayor Matt.
Oh yeah, Mayor Matt's the best.
Mayor Matt's awesome.
He's the best.
And he may or may not be mayoring, or he may be riding his bike, or God knows what Mayor Matt's up to.
In his car, it has a few stickers on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So since I am not someone like Dylan who knows about all of this stuff, and I'm a dum-dum when it comes to all this stuff, can you kind of like break it down for me and explain what people are going to experience at Final Boss Con this weekend?
I have no idea.
You don't
No,
know?
I'm just kidding.
I just playing it.
I'm leaving at noon. No. So we'll have. If you want to be there when doors are opening at 11, I suggest to be outside about 10:30 because it goes almost all the way to the outdoor basketball court and wraps around the building. Like the line is insane when we first open.
The basketball court.
You're right.
I
Yes.
did that. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't park on the basketball court. Ryo frowns on that.
Why would you park on a basketball court, Dylan?
Okay, look, I didn't know where I was going. I wasn't a student yet.
So you thought a basketball court was a proper place to park your
At
car?
first I did,
No
and
one's
then I
playing
saw
today.
nobody else was parking on the basketball court. And then Corbin's like, Dylan, you can't park here. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I pulled around.
Guards at like the free throw line. Just I'll park here.
For the love of God.
It looked like a
child.
parking spot.
It was wide open.
Yeah.
But do park near the lots next to that, where Ryo's doing more construction and building the Trinity dorms. You have to park in a couple different lots. But if you're on our website, you'll see the updated, where to park, where to go. And the only challenging one is if you park at Bob Brown's Farm Hall, you will find a parking spot, but you'll have to do walking up that hill leading up to the Lyne Center, which can be pretty massive.
I'm trying to think about the hill. This is the second time I've heard about the hill in a couple of days. So.
Yeah.
Is it a big hill?
It's big. It's not as big as Jeff Hill, like if you've been to Athens' campus at OU, but it's pretty bad. It's a decent hill, especially to walk up it. So even on the sidewalk, if you walk up the grass, it ain't happening. But
Sure.
I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, the con.
Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, we'll have a trivia, some cosplay contests, video game contests. We got 90-some vendors, 5 or 6 food trucks this year. A lot of event stuff going on. Check it out on our website, and you'll see everything. Certain things have just X amount of spots, so make sure you get in and sign up. We do have a lot of giveaways. Again, this year, when you come in, you still get a ticket for the raffle that you can put in for free to try to win. I think we have 30 or 40 prizes again this year.
Awesome.
But if you want to buy more tickets, you can for increased chances to win. It'd be a lot of fun this year too.
Very cool. Okay, so the people that you're going to have as guests, let's kind of break that down a little bit.
Okay.
Special guests.
We got John Russo, who's actually returning from last year. He wrote Night of the Living Dead. It was great because we didn't have him on the bill yet, and he contacted Matt, and he said, Matt, why ain't I on the bill yet? Like, are you guys having me come back? And we were like, well, yeah, we didn't know if people would come back year to year because, it may hurt. Like, well, I got an autograph from him last year, and, I may get another one. But he contacted us like, no, I want to come back. We're like, well, we want you back. We just didn't know. So
Sure.
he's driving in from Pittsburgh, coming straight in and staying, and he's coming to the dinner that we're having the night before. And
Nice.
I was like, well, he's the best. He put, this is the best con to go to on the East Coast, and that meant more to us than anything. Because I was like, New York Comic Con's on the East Coast. I was like, maybe minus that one. But we were such a nice guy. to come out and see. Paul there on the bottom middle, he does artwork for tons of arcade cabinets that you see through the 80s and 90s. Like you saw his artwork, it was probably him. He
Like
did,
Atari
yeah,
and games and
yeah,
all that. Like,
Tapper and some of the Pac-Man stuff. He did a lot. Spy
really?
Hunter, huge guy, super nice. Talked to him on the phone. He's a great guy. He's really good
That's
friends.
cool.
People next to him. That's Johnny Cage and Raiden from the original Mortal Kombat series. Like when you see him on the game, that's them in the motion capture. So they're really nice. Rita Repulsa in the upper middle. She does. That's Carla Perez. She does Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. Excuse me, from Power Rangers. So she's awesome. Big character from the 90s.
Awesome.
The two gentlemen on the wings up there, they're extremely good friends. They're coming from. Yeah, that's a great graphic. That's Josh Martin. He does Majin Buu and.
Now that one I'm excited for.
Dude, he's great. Talk to him on the phone. That's the mind blowing thing. Talking to these guys on the phone, they just answer and act like I've known them forever. And I go, I watched you as a kid, like played with action figures, and now you're answering
like
me.
geeking out.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
it's wild.
And he plays so many more than Majin Buu too.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
so cool.
He does, which I'm excited because My Hero returns the same day as our show, and he did native off that. So if you go in and talk to My Hero about it, he'll know. And then his friend Chris Rager does a lot. He does Arlong and Hercule, Mr. Satan, bunch. I mean, look at that lineup.
Are these like cartoons? Like, I'm
Yeah.
so dumb. I don't know.
These are all anime, so like Japanese cartoons that we get here, like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. Trying to think of a bunch of other stuff he does. He's from a video game there next to the guy with the big afro, Mr. Satan. He does the guy from Borderlands. He does a ton of different
He
characters.
plays so many of the Dragon Ball characters you
Yeah.
can think of.
Just even extras, and he's a great, nice guy. Talk to them as well, and that's like I said, this makes it odd being like,
Chris Rager.
no, dude, he's great.
Sounds like a wrestler.
I'm gonna try to see if we can get him in the ring. He can probably do that too.
Do
We'll be
Jello
surprised. We'll bring that next year.
Yeah.
We'll do that on the Friday night before anybody knows. No, we're excited. They're all great. We even got some people that like Sean Langley. He'll be
Yeah.
there. He does amazing work stuff. Chris Penix. These are like they're special guests. They're not out front on the bill, but they've done some
And they're
big
local
work.
people.
Yeah, which is
That
awesome.
have done amazing things.
Yeah. And I remember getting with Sean the first time, and I met him a few times, and I was really excited to get him in the first show. I was like, because he's worked on different designs, his drawings he does, the Kryptonoid stuff. I said, can you come to our show? And that was like getting a celebrity for us in that first year. And then he's back every year, and he even did a big picture for our VIPs that he drew himself and given it to all of them. So it's an exclusive print, which is awesome, and we
Is
appreciate
so
that.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, and Sean's working here now, which is really cool too.
I just found that out. I was like, hey, I was
know
excited.
you.
Yeah, I was like, awesome.
Well, very good. Okay, so what else do we talk about?
Well, I guess what we got 6 days. Is that right? My math correct? Monday to
So
Saturday.
it's Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday. We're counting. All right. I haven't slept. We got 6 days. May 4th starts at 11, goes till 7. It actually goes a little later, but that's just when the vending hall closes. Make sure anybody that's listening to get online, check our schedule, check our events, because there's a lot going on. The events are, like I said, only a certain amount can sign up for it. They're, some places only have 24 spots, 6 spots, whatever. And I don't want anybody to miss it. We had a lot of people because, it was crazy busy last year. And they're like, man, I missed this. I forgot this was going on. Make sure, grab a flyer, pamphlet when you come in. We'll have many more taped up because we don't want people to miss anything, because we know there's a lot going on. Before you know it, you get in 11 and it's 1:30 and you've made it halfway through the vendors. So you're like, time will fly when you get in there.
Yeah, no doubt.
When'd you get here, bud?
Oh, just now. I'm just trying not to be too loud with this microphone. I'm sure they're
trying to
hearing
be
everything
sneaky.
I'm doing with it. What's up?
No, how you been?
I've been all right. I went to your last Final Boss Con.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it was pretty fun. The best part to me was actually not really scheduled. It wasn't on the itinerary, but I'm walking around and I just hear a wheep, And I looked behind and Corbin just fell and like
Oh wow! I didn't know that. We got to put that on film.
I wish I had a recording of it, man.
You can probably get a hold of Jeff if it's in the gym because there's
Oh.
cameras in there. We'll play it as a slip with a little "come next year," whoop, and it'll just be him going.
Yeah,
That'd be
it
funny.
was hilarious. But since then, Corbin's just been hyping it up like
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole lot.
And
And if you listen to any of our Rio Grande esports streams, and if any of you didn't know, yeah, I'm at Rio. I'm on esports, but he does a bunch of ads for it.
Yeah.
Me and you were talking off air about his ads.
I like him. All right,
Yeah, I like
I
him
did.
too.
I did. He's a good guy. I've met him a couple times. I wish I had his hair. That's the thing. His hair is
Yeah.
amazing, and I'm like,
Tried to copy him once, but it didn't work out well.
Yeah.
I can't. I wear hats just because I'm bald. So I'm like, I'll cover it up.
Corbin's hair is unique.
Oh yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
Corbin.
He reminds me, and I've said this many times. There's a Power Rangers character with the long hair. He doesn't look like him, but I'm like, I can see it. Don't bring that up because now that I said it, seems bad. Just go look at Power Rangers characters and you find out which one's Corbin. Then you go, that guy.
Yeah.
He's also on a video game, so it'll be easy to find. I'm going to have Corbin sign that for me. He'll be like, why am I signing this?
I noticed you came to one of our events too at esports.
Yeah.
You had like a little booth set up with a bunch of Final Boss Con
Yeah,
flyers.
Diddy got a hold of me because you guys were bringing schools from like Ironton and Gay Academy doing like a tournament. And he's like, hey, you want to promote? I'm like, well, yeah, these are right up the alley of what
Yeah,
we get.
for sure.
And I talked to some of the principals there, and they took our flyers and put them in the school, which was awesome because we hadn't made it into that ground yet. And we ended up bringing N64 and a GameCube for the kids to play while they were waiting in between tournaments.
Mhm.
I forgot I was old, and they were like, "Oh, let me play the controller," and they're holding it like this. And I was like, "What are you doing?" They said, "I've never played an N64." I was like, "Oh, I was like 10 when it came out, so it was really
Yeah.
normal." And they're like, "We have no idea," and they're like playing games on a level to try to become professional at it, and I'm going, "I can't do that." I was like, "That's." You see the gap of gaming start to happen between all PC stuff and old
Yeah, because
systems.
that's probably like so ridiculously easy for them.
Right. They're like, okay. They
And
just had to
we're
get
all
the
like still trying to master Mario Brothers.
You're right. I'm like, AWS. I'm like, what does this mean? I don't want to do that. And they're just flying through it. And I don't even register half the time what's on the screen of what they're doing. And I'm like, just give me like an 8 picks, jump, poke, jump. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
That's easy. One button, we're good.
Well, I was trying to explain to Dylan about Donkey Kong one day,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
so he was trying to play it, and he couldn't play it for anything because he was like, I don't understand this. And I'm like, it's stupid. That's why you don't understand it. But back then, we thought it was
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
It was extremely hard still. Extremely hard.
It is. We were trying to play it here one day, and it was like, I don't know. It was kind of glitchy though. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Well, then I got you playing Smash Bros and stuff like that.
Yeah. He made me Princess Peach.
Nice. Did
Yeah.
you like that one more than Donkey Kong, or rather Donkey
Well,
Kong?
I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just hitting buttons, and then he laughed at me a lot.
Well, it was
It
pretty funny.
works. It works. It's button
Hey,
smashing.
that one game that you had me play, I won it.
Oh yeah, she played Among Us.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah.
little guys we guess who did it.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
And
That's
I
cool.
didn't get picked ever.
I like
No.
that game.
He
Yeah.
wasn't very suspicious.
No sus.
Like I was just flying under the radar, man.
One game I ended up trying at Final Boss Con that kind of like hypnotized me for a while. I can't even remember what it was too well, but I think it was like a really early version of Mortal Kombat.
Was it probably 1 or 2 from last year?
Something
I
like
bet
that, yeah.
we got a tournament on that this year.
Oh, cool.
Esports is
enter.
doing Mortal Kombat 1 for the Xbox, and we're doing the original one for the Super Nintendo with prizes and everything. So
Oh, cool.
it'll be good.
Well, that ought to be pretty fun. I played in a tournament last time too, and I got like, I think 3rd place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
It
cool.
was cool. And then John Nodder won
John, which one was that? Which game was that?
Super Smash Bros.
Oh, okay. For the ultimate one?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I think the esports did that one last year, which was
Mhm.
good. They had a big turnout, or it might have been TBS. They were there too. Had a booth down
Oh
from
yeah,
them.
yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, they had a good one too. Those are nice guys.
Hmm.
So yeah, you mentioned that there's vendors and things. So
Mhm.
like who all will be there? What can people will there be stuff for sale, I assume,
Oh
with
yeah.
vendors and all that? What are some of the cool things that people will be bringing?
We got Special Beam Design. They do resin coasters style, where it has like a card inside of it, or they'll have big giant cards where they can put like pieces of manga or anything inside to basically just purchase. They'll have some Rita Repulsa ones. I'm gonna look at your computer so I can remember all these. Um, those are all the sponsors, I think. We got great sponsors, tons of them. Sean Lane, Retro Rocket. The Retro Rocket will be there. They have tons of toys and
Mhm.
video games. Um, Give me one sec. There are 90 of them, and I just try to remember them all. There Once More Feeling has cork trivets that have stuff burned into it, whether it's like Stranger Things or D&D. We got Burrito Princess will be there. She does pixelated arts, like the little perler beads that you iron on, and then she'll make keychains, earrings, pictures. People that self-publish horror books or novels, big mix of that. Prints, toys, video games. Trying to think of a lot more. People do their own art, actually, like own little designs that they'll have as stickers or buttons. It's a large, large mix. We try to make it so there's not a high crossover. It's bound to happen. Like, you might get some 3D printed stuff. Another person does 3D print. A lot of people have Funko Pops. But we try to be like, okay, let's not get more than 6 or 7 of that cross. Like, even if it's just, hey, they do 2 things, we'll count that as half.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure, everybody's making money. Everybody's making, people get more eyes on it. Because originally we thought about just being a video game convention. And then in our area, I was like,
Okay.
we got to get everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're small there. We didn't know what we'd have. We thought 250, and I went, there's nothing wrong with specializing in one thing, especially if you bring a lot of those vendors in and a lot of people. But I felt in our area we needed everything, and that seemed to work out pretty well with the amount of people that came. So I was like, all right, let's make sure we have something for everybody. Moms, dads, grandparents came in and still find stuff, little kids, people in their 30s that have children that they're like, hey, this is what I grew up on. I want to show my kid again. And, that mix is there.
That's fun. Little like so dad can show the kid his
Mhm.
stuff and kid can show dad his
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yep, we got a good mix of that. They'll go up to the esports and be like, this is what I do. And the dad will be like, this is an Atari stick. And they're like, yeah. So it's cool seeing that mix and seeing people be like, I've brought my kid every year. They've started to love it. They're now watching anime because they see these characters there. And, we've been watching them for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great.
Not quite 20 yet, but yeah.
Well, all right, never mind. We've been watching TV for 20. Well, you may not be either. I've been watching TV for 20 years.
But no, I know what you mean. I grew up watching Dragon Ball.
Mm.
It's actually a weird way I started watching it. I was just playing on Adult Swim one night.
Yeah, on the old Toonami.
Catching up with it, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was
really
huge.
got into it, and that's part of what got me super hyped up for this year when I saw you guys had 2 of the main characters.
Oh yeah, they're going to be great. I know. I told them we're going to look back in years if we keep, if everybody keeps having us. I said we're going to look back and go, that 3rd year lineup was gross. Just because of the mix with everybody, you're like, we're covering everything.
Yeah.
Like, live action, books, art, video games. So we're like, okay, we've looked into more people. We've had a couple people that couldn't make it this year that we were going to have. And we're already trying to look for next year. So if you have any suggestions, we're always open as long as it fits a budget that we can figure out. Just let us know.
Well, let's talk about how do you get tickets and all that stuff.
We had VIPs. They sold out in about 2 months. We had like 65 of them, so that was awesome. But we had at the door $7. We should this year because we had some trouble last year. But we think we figured it out. We'll have a credit card or card line, and then we'll have 2 cash lines. So either way, that will work. There are many ATMs in the area, whether it be, Family Dollar, BP, gas station. There's 2 banks. So just stop by in case, because some vendors can only do cash. Some of them do both. Some of them do Venmo, and I know people a lot do that. I don't. I don't understand technology. Don't tell nobody.
Wait a minute. You can do all of this stuff, but you don't know how to use Venmo?
No, I don't have Venmo, Cash Pats. Straight cash, homie. Randy Moss said it. That's about it. So. But no, I don't. People ask me all the time. All right, let me Venmo you. I go, nope.
You want me to help you set that up?
Oh no,
Honestly,
it's too
I don't
much.
know how to use Venmo either.
Facebook Pay, all that.
Wait,
Not me.
you guys,
Nice.
stop.
Nice. You got like a piggy bank we can smash. We know how to do that.
You all can play all these video games and know all this nerdy stuff, and you can't do Venmo.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I ain't got no more room with apps on my phone. Venmo or Discord, which one? Yeah. No, I just never have. I know it's weird. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
So.
I will admit I fought it for a minute, but then it's just too convenient. Like, for example, get together with some girlfriends or something, everybody goes to dinner or you get a hotel room or something, everybody's sharing it. So you just Venmo everything. So yeah, I mean, I just was like, okay.
I'm afraid it's going to be like for me with when I started having a card because I realized I'm going to spend more money than if I just had cash. Now I'm like, am I just going to Venmo a bunch of people? And I'm like, better stop.
So you're protecting yourself from yourself is what you're saying.
Yeah, stopping
Yeah,
it.
that's a fair point, man. I spend all kinds of money on my debit card. I'll see a cool cord online. I'm like, oh, that would be really helpful.
Right.
I mean, I can buy that argument because
I mean, and then they
it's
pushed
just
it to
free. You just
35
hit
for
that
free
button and
deliveries.
it's like
Right to him. And I'm like, good.
it's like Amazon.
Oh,
Why can
yeah.
I can buy anything that I want in the world in 7 seconds.
I've got nervous and had to
Scary.
unlog myself or log off of Amazon because my baby will take the phone. And there are many times where it's just click and it purchases it. And I was like, I don't want to just have random stuff showing up to my house. Like, hey, I bought 10 Bluey toys. I'd be like, that's cool. But I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had to take that off after I saw her on there one day. I was like, no.
I could see that, yeah. Well, very good. So lots and lots of vendors. What is how do people find out like information if they want to like kind of look through and find out what's going on?
If you go to our website, which is just www.finalbosscon.com, you'll see the tabs at the top. It'll have something for vendors. You can still fill out applications. We don't have a spot, but it'll put you in the stuff for next year.
Okay.
It has the maps, the attractions, what the guests cost. And there's also another tab on the far right that doesn't have to do with Final Boss Con yet, but we actually have a Renaissance Festival coming September of this year at Rio Grande as well. We've actually already had 30-some vendors paid and sign up.
Is that new?
So yeah, we just announced that, I think, February. I think it was February.
Okay.
So yeah,
That sounds interesting.
it'll be
Were there
good
giant
time.
turkey legs?
We hope so. We've been talking to a couple
Dude.
people. We already got like the acting guild to come. We've talked to a couple jousting people.
Wait, jousting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have fans do it because of insurance, but
I'll
you
do
know,
it.
it'll be- just sign off and be like, okay. We'll have to get with Rick Jackson and be like, hey, they want to get hit. What do you want us to do? You want to have fun or not, Rick?
Yeah, Rick. Come on, live a little, buddy.
But no, it's we were stoked for that, and that's been going off pretty well. A lot of people are messaging us like, hey, I need more information for that. I need that, and I'm like, well, we're in the middle of con right now, so
Let us get over
when we're
one
done,
before we get to the next. Yeah.
But getting 30 people already, and they're not. A couple of them are crossover Final Boss Con, but where it's a Ren Fair, I'm like, well, having video games don't make a ton of sense there.
Yeah.
Or having like a guy who, people that do art would work, and they cross over a little bit, but we got a lot coming there. I think we'll end up having about 55 vendors at that one, and that has already caught way more traction in 6 months than Final Boss Con in 3 years, which has been
Nice.
crazy. People love Ren fairs.
The Renaissance Fair. I think it's because there's like a little bit of something for everyone. The
Right.
kids have fun. The parents
Yeah.
have fun. Like you may not like this, but there's
Yeah.
going to be something there that you like. And
Takes you back a little.
yeah, it does. It's just, you can kind of, I don't know. It's almost like being somebody else or
Yeah.
pretending or whatever. It's fun.
You know what I really liked about Final Boss Con last year was like, a lot of people do dress up in cosplay and kind of do pretend to be someone else. I mean, it's a little different than that.
Right.
That was one thing that really excited me because it was just such a crowd of people.
Oh yeah, that's
I
probably gonna be
almost did it
massive.
this year, but I mean, I still have
Come
time if I
on.
want to. But
There's money to be won.
For a costume?
Oh yeah, for the cosplay contest, you can do. We changed it this year. We have novice, journey, and master, and you can get online, see what qualifies for that. If you've never won a contest ever, you can be in the novice one, and then journeyman's like been in so many, haven't won. Master class is winning, but they all have money, they all have trophies, and we think that'll be a lot better than just age groups. We had like 70 people in the cosplay contest last year, which is insane.
There's a ton of people.
And I'm like, we might break 100 people in the cosplay contest this year. I was like, okay. Like, if you support any of the events we do and obviously the show, we hope this year you can see, hey, we had a lot of support from year 2. Here's guests and here's, more vendors, greater vendors, more stuff to do. If people were there and if people have an interest, I told people, I said, we get 400 people that want to do a, thumb wrestling match. We're going to have the biggest thumb wrestling match ever. As long as it makes we might have you put like a little costume on your thumb, but
I like that.
We'll still do it.
that would actually be kind of fun.
All right, sign it up.
Thumb wrestling is infuriating. Somebody nails you down, and you're like, ugh.
Like, my thumb's better. I've been working on my phone forever. Aren't you stronger?
Why is it not long enough?
Oh man,
that's funny. Okay, Dylan. So if you had to dress up, who would you dress up as?
I think I'm gonna go for Goku.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be.
That'd be awesome.
Not sure how much of a Goku I could pull off, but if I get that real long spiky hair.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, you got to back up.
You got to what?
Back up.
Oh, Goku is a character that on one of the popular animes, and he's got this hair that just
big, giant, black, spiky, over the top, like anime style hair. It's from Dragon Ball Z. When did Dragon Ball Z come out? Like 80s?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So explain anime. Like I kind of know, but I don't really.
Think of there's like Tom and Jerry, there's Popeye, there's The Simpsons, there's stuff like that. Those
like
are
our Americanized cartoons.
Yeah. Now, anime is more. There'll be some of those because there's like a slice of life where it's like just kids going to school and trying to deal with stuff, and then there's like super over the top demons and vampires and goblins, but it's all in a different style of drawing for the most part. Some of it's a little different, and then they add a lot of an Asian influence into those kind of shows. Some of them are getting more mixed now. There's a lot more better animes now than there were in the 80s.
Do most of them come out of like the Asian areas and then come here, or are they done here?
A lot of them are overseas, right? And then Funimation does a lot. They're in Texas, but I think that's where their voice actors are.
Yeah. You can either watch it with just like transcribed text, like just captions, and sometimes a lot of people redub it. Personally, I'm a dub fan. But like that's just a voice actor like translating it to us.
So I went to this brand new like noodle ramen / noodle place, I guess, up in Columbus last week, and they were playing anime, and it had like the subtitles.
Yeah. Yep.
On the TVs.
It's crazy because
I don't know what one has to do with the other. I guess because it would be like an Asian-y kind of thing. Okay, makes sense.
There's a couple ramen bar stuff. There's one in Athens. It's great on Court Street.
Mm-hmm.
Forget its name. It's great. Just walk on Court Street and go that one. But there's a big mix. It feels like in the early 80s and 90s, a lot of people were traveling like overseas to Japan and those places. And then now it's getting so much bigger here. Like, I just saw McDonald's in Canada has Hello Kitty / Yu-Gi-Oh toys that you can get. And then we had when McDonald's became Whack-Donald or Walk-Arnold, something for like 3 weeks over here.
What?
Yeah, we had a special Asian sauce, and the bags had all animes on it. And there was an anime cartoon for McDonald's. Happened for like 3 weeks in March.
Yeah.
It's like really getting bigger and really getting into our culture now. More of the younger generation watching a lot of that. That it's starting to like almost alter and have things cross over more, which is great because they've been getting a lot better exclusives, a lot better animes, better like we'll get PlayStation 5 that may be Spider-Man, and they'll get Final Fantasy 7, and we're like, oh, we don't get that one here. So they're starting to cross over more and being
Gotcha.
That's the
more
unusual
noticed.
thing with it, like Pokemon. That's always been an anime.
That's always been huge. Pokemon from the 90s.
So we have all heard of that,
Yeah.
obviously, and it was huge
Yeah,
here.
I remember when it first came out, we played the cards, and parents were like, "That's evil. That's
It's
the terrible
devil's
yeah."
game.
You take animals and fight them, and I'm going, huh? I was like, it's cardboard. At 7, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then you look back now, and things come over that are way darker than Pokemon, and people just go, "That's fine." You're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, okay."
It's like, turn on any network TV station at 8:00 even, and it's like crazy stuff happening. But so I can remember like way back when, like the Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
People would like get all weird about that, and it's like even Harry Potter and stuff. It's like it's imagination.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I got a D&D shirt on now. I remember this was probably 2008. Yeah, that sounds right. That's where I met my wife. Was playing D&D. Hilariously enough.
Really?
Yeah, we were at
How
my friend's house, and she was there. And I was like, oh, and we talked, and now it's been like 14 years. I remember I was going, and Mom, even like 2008, was like, "Are you going in the woods, and is it a cult?" I'm like, I hope not. I don't feel like going outside. I thought we were just playing games. Yeah, I was like, I thought we were just rolling dice at a table. That is what it was. And I remember telling the guys there, I was like, "Are we going outside and doing something?" They're like, "No, I don't like to go outside." I was like, all right, good. Me neither. This is great. But even clear up to then, people, I can't imagine what it was like in the 70s and 80s when it first came out. And it was like, oh, we're going to dress up and do witchcraft.
All these
People were
weird, freaky people doing weird, freaky things.
we're just hanging out at the table going, 6. Did I win? No. All right, next game. But yeah, it's funny to see how big the imagination gets on, is this good or is this bad? And you're like, oh,
It's just
good.
imagination. That's the way I look at it. Like, I don't know. I just, all these people that burn books and I'm
Right.
like, what is wrong with
Right.
you? Like, decide for yourself what
Oh, yeah.
you think.
Try it. It's not bad.
One thing about D&D, they actually started a club at my high school.
Oh, real?
And that's where I kind of got into D&D a little bit. It was really fun. It was after school in the library, and we would all just meet up, and they taught me how to play D&D.
That's cool.
So how do you play? I don't know. Is it too hard to explain on the TV show?
Nah, basic. It's just you make a character. They give there's books to help you. You make a character, pick a race that you want. Like elf, orc, whatever, human, owl, and
Wait, okay.
you can pick anything. It's wild.
So then you become that.
Yeah, that little
character.
character. You can
Okay.
you can do voice. You can talk. You can just talk normal and play. And then it's a lot of role playing to be like, okay, I need to go here. I want to go to this town. And some people have minis and stuff, which I think helps a lot. So you don't just fully imagine it. I'm going here. What happens? I want to go in here, and you make up shops or buy stuff or fight things, and you roll dice and base if you hit it or do damage. And there's just quests. There's some book campaigns that you can go all the way through, or some people just make them up as they go along, or rip off other TV shows and then make it a tabletop game.
So does somebody win, or is it just like a ongoing, never ending thing?
I mean, there's like certain quests, like a certain
Yeah.
point you want to get to. And you could, I mean, if that's where you want to stop, then yeah, you won. But you could also just keep going.
Yeah, there's some people play the same game for 15, 20 years weekly. Ours will do a book and be like, okay, when we make it to the end of the book, all right, we did it. We beat 300 and some pages, whatever we had to do. But some games are just, we play on and off for years. Whether your character dies or not, you make a new one, or if everybody dies, you go, oh, we're done. Let's go out and do cult stuff. Oh, wait, wait, we weren't done.
Out in the woods.
It's fun. It's a lot of imagination. It helps a lot with, there's things now online where it'll show the person, you can move your character, and then it'll show them like actually shoot fire or something move, and they're getting really advanced with it, more than just, hey, we brought pencil and paper and nothing, and it's all imagination. It's grown a lot recently.
It's really funny that that it's stayed popular for. I mean, I
Oh
can
yeah.
remember being a little tiny girl, and my mom used to own the Shake Shop in
Oh
town,
yeah.
and where Fantastic Sam's is now, and I can remember being little, and people would come in and eat ice cream or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'd be like, "What are they doing?" Because I didn't know, and I mean that was, shall we say, a few years ago.
Right. Man, that's awesome. To see, I mean, see it in the beginning because it was wild. Now how big it is, and there's cons just for D&D only.
And that it's still so
Yeah,
popular. Yeah,
still huge.
wild.
I think is it 50 years? It's 50 years this year.
Well, I would say so because, like
So
I said, I was a little tiny
yeah,
girl, and people were playing it.
yeah, it's wild to be something that long. That's just a tabletop game. It's I don't know many things that 50 years is the same. We do. We last 50 years, but
Hopefully,
yeah, I
you
only got
know,
I got like 90 more. I'm done.
it is funny though if you think about like just games in general, and this doesn't really have anything to do with what you're doing. Although the Rocket Game Place and all that, I know they have some old school
Yeah,
games and
yeah.
stuff, but it's so funny. Like at the brewery, I went out and bought some games, and the same games that kids are playing, Candyland,
Yep.
Shoots and Ladders, Battleship. I mean, people, they love that
Oh
stuff. And
yeah.
I'm like, I loved it growing up, so I don't know why kids wouldn't love it today, but
Right.
I'm surprised, I guess,
The
that they're
test of
still just
time.
Uno.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Regular cards, solitaire. That's the thing, and we see it a lot in movies too. Like, oh, we used to watch. I mean, how many Spider-Mans there been? Like 8. They
oh
just
gosh.
they remake a bunch of movies, and we get to go. Oh, like Twister coming back, and I'm like, well, if my daughter's a little older, I'd be like, I'd take you to see Twister because that movie freaked me out.
Yeah.
It's like coming back around. It's like those board games. There might be a new Uno, but it's Uno. It's like Uno Attack or Push This Button, or you see the meme with the guy with like 900 cards in his hand because there's like draw 25 now. It all stays, but it
Yeah.
just a slight change. But you get to go. Oh, like even the Simpsons. Simpsons are still going. I see kids come into school and they got Simpson shirts on. I'm like,
The Simpsons blew up the other day when they killed off.
yeah, Larry. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I was like,
It's a character that only said like 9 words the whole
Yeah.
series.
He was just a dude in the
He's been in
background.
episode 1.
Yeah.
He only ever said like 9 words, and they killed him
Really?
off, and the fandom just went crazy.
He's one of the bar flies at Moe's. He just
Yeah.
sat there.
I've never watched The Simpsons.
Oh
I
wow,
know.
that's
That's
good.
ridiculous.
I've been 89.
Well, it's one of those
Yeah.
where there's so many, like, it's so long
Oh,
now that
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even gonna start that
No.
because I don't know how I would ever
Like-
get through it all.
Found out I like the earlier Simpsons more than I do the newer Simpsons, and I don't mean like the earlier as in like when the family was like illustrated a little different.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. I mean like season 1 when Bart was the main character.
Yep, yep. I remember we had the VHSs. It's the only way you can find it, I think, now or YouTube, when they were on the Tracy Ullman show. For the longest time, they were just shorts on that
Yeah.
show, and that was it. And people
That's
were
how it
like,
got started, right?
It's
yeah,
technically considered a spin-off of that. which
is it
crazy.
real? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's considered the longest running animated spin-off ever.
Just because of the Tracy Ullman show. But those were good. And that was, when that was on, people were like, this is bad. Because, Homer would grab Bart and strangle him. And people were like, this is terrible. And then you watch TV now and you're like, okay,
It
so
really
this
wasn't
ain't
that
Like,
bad.
yeah, you watch the first couple South Parks and you're like, oh, that was mild.
I, to this day, do not understand why they get away with what they get away with on South Park. It's like they're untouchable.
Oh, everything. I remember, I think it was Matt Stone. He said, if you can't make fun of everything, then we're just going to quit. So he's like, we're going to do everything. And some of the stuff they touch, you're like,
I can't believe they went there.
no,
like,
you can't do
oh
that.
my God.
And then they never get canceled and everything. They're just like,
No.
nah, whatever. They'll move to another network and fandom will just go right with it.
It is the most bizarre
Oh,
in
yeah.
this, PC culture in which we live. The fact that they just keep on keeping on,
Oh, it's hard.
which it does my heart good. I'm like, you should be able to do that.
They've
Like,
honestly just gotten bigger. Now they have movies.
Oh, yeah.
I know, and
They
it's like,
just go.
again, a lot of this stuff is just like, if you would just like get over yourself and like just have some fun and just like laugh at it. Like,
Right.
nobody's really making fun of certain things.
We're just
You know,
trying to
it's just
figure out world. That's about it. Like, we still haven't figured that out in 2,000 years.
true
It's
that.
wild. Wild.
That is true. Unbelievable. But all right, so what else can we talk about?
Well, I managed to go to his website and find a map.
Oh,
That's a big map. We fixed it this year. My wife realized the bottom vending hall from last year was upside down. So, so when people walked in, they were like, "What?" So it's fixed now. But look at that. You walk into the first gym. There's the stage. There's tons of vendors in there. And Sean, esports, Torgs. Torgs is bringing the free play back. So if you go this year, they got like 18 old CRT, like box TVs with only old systems hooked up to them.
Oh.
So you can just play like Atari, Super Nintendo.
dude, I want to
It's
get it.
free.
Yeah, I want to play Atari again. I
Oh,
miss
you got to
it.
come. It's there. All day. You can just sit there and beat
Pitfall.
kids. Oh, man. Yeah. Paperboy. The noises back in were great. They had like 8, and you're like, oh, this is great. Duck Hunt had like 2 noises. Just pew, and then when the dog laughs at you. No one liked that dog. We got some blocked off areas. Please don't go to the pool. If you actually, I'm not going to say that. I don't know how to get into the pool. Please don't figure out how, but I really don't know how anymore. There used to be doors from the locker room, and I went in there and they disappeared. So that actually helps us, so people won't go to the pool. Don't go to the trophy room. Any place is blacked out, don't go. In the back hallway, there's the D&D area. We got the bathrooms. A lot of people asked where the bathrooms were last year. As soon as you walk in, they're the only thing you can go to on the left side at all, right before the workout center. So those where those are. There's actually bathrooms in the locker rooms, too.
Now, wait a minute. Do I see something that says Dungeons and Dragons up there?
Yeah, that's the Dungeons and Dragons room.
Oh.
It's you go around the
Get to
corner.
plan again.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them going. I think there's 4 games this year. One of them's like 3.5 hours. We got another guy doing Badge Quest, which I've never heard of. You play as Girl Scouts that go house to house and sell cookies to get badges and points. I don't know if you fight people. I really hope you do. And he's like, I'm going to run this game. And I went, I have never heard of this. I was like, sounds great.
I can only imagine, like, roll the dice to see if he buys the cookie.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, I'm confused.
guys.
But I'm going to go check it out.
I'm not getting that
No,
badge.
I forgot no Samoas. They're all out. But this is the best. Yeah, we got a lot of. There's all our vendors. Oh my goodness.
Look at all those.
What's crazy? That's actually down from last year, and the reason we did that, we took about 14 out because 1, we want all the people to make money. 2, there was walkways that were only 4 feet wide, and people could not make it down it going, side by side. We went, that's not good. So we don't want a crowd jam or something to happen. So we moved some of that. So we're still at, I don't know, what's that, 70 some plus all the tees, 21. That's 90 some, and some of them have a couple vendors inside of each other. So it may still reach close to 100 instead of 118 from last year, but it's a lot. A lot. And we're starting to set up on Thursday this year. They told us we could get in super early, so we were grateful for that because setting up 300 some tables takes a lot longer than we thought it did.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. Do you can you buy tickets at the door, or is that not a good idea?
That's the only way you can get them now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just at the door.
Because the VIP
Yeah.
can buy early, but
Yeah.
now it's just at the door.
We did the first 2 years had pre-ticket sales, and in 2 years we sold 9. So we went, forget it. And then we're like, there's way more than 9 people here. So we were just like, maybe people just don't like to do it that way, which is cool with us because there's way more to
it's
keep
easier.
track of. Yeah. So we were like, at the door. That'll be good.
Awesome. So $7 to get in,
$7.
and it's a whole day full of like fun. and
Oh, yeah.
There'll be food.
Yep, lots of food.
Food trucks, you said.
Yeah, we have the 1786 grill, which is the hibachi one. Matney's Pizza.
Oh, hibachi?
Yeah, they were there last year, man. You gotta check them out. They sold out fast. I think they brought enough to feed like 270, and they sold out. And I was
Nice.
like, all right. Same with the pizza place. We got a new place called the Maze Runner, which has like nachos and big giant lemonades. Sister Snack Shack's back, which has burgers and fries. There's another one. Can you bring it up? There's a new one too that's
Is that
throwing me
on
off. This on the map.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I can't remember the one.
Let me take a look.
Sister Snack Shack. I guess it ain't on there. Maybe it's on the map. Sorry.
Oh, the map.
You think I'd learn all these people? I'm trying. We get new people and. All right.
Oh, there they are.
Yep. Sour Pig. That's the other one I couldn't think of. Big barbecue.
Nice.
Like really good barbecue. So it'll be and the Snow Biz people. Snow Biz people will be back from Mason. They do like all the snow cones. I asked them. I said, "Did you guys enjoy the show?" They said the only time we walked in was because people from inside were calling us to bring them snow cones because they couldn't leave. So they'd walk a tray down, walk back. He said we were never inside. He's like, we don't know what happens. We couldn't stop. I was like, that's great.
All the snow cones.
Oh, it was wild because it was so hot last year.
Yeah.
Like in the bottom gym, it was hot. There's air conditioning in the halls. We have fans. We have waters, but there's no air in the two gyms.
Oh, okay.
So middle of July, bottom gym got really hot with 1,000 people in there. The top gym was great. So we're like, that's why we moved it to May, and we're looking at like 70-some degrees, and I've already went in there and checked. Yeah, it should be much better. That's what we hope, so no one's getting hot. Did I get everybody? Yeah, that's all of them. Those are really good. Don't go in the ice room either. That's not for you. I forgot to black that one out.
Wait, did you say ice?
There's an ice room. Don't go in there.
Oh, ice.
It won't cool. It won't cool you off.
I say if it's open, go.
Nah, well.
I thought you meant like an ice skating room.
Oh, no,
Like,
wouldn't that be
like,
great?
Man, why wouldn't you
Just
open
sneak that in. That just has a bunch of equipment for the volleyball stuff, and then there's a big giant ice machine that we use. So there's probably no ice in it. So don't think you can roll in and be like, I'm just gonna sleep in here for an
I'm
hour.
gonna sneak into the
I'm
ice
like
machine.
super zoomed in. I can actually see a lot more.
Oh, there's a lot of free play tables. A bunch of people doing BattleTech games and free D&D.
lightsaber battles.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
There's you gotta think.
There's
I haven't
lightsabers
slept in a couple days. We have coming from Charleston, the Imperial Legion is bringing their trained people that they have lightsaber fights, and they do showcases and they keep records throughout time, and you can also go and take a class that they'll be teaching there about 3 or 4 times
Does it
throughout the
go
day.
vroom?
I've watched them online.
So, man,
They're
that
good.
is so cool.
The people that got are really good.
Does it
to
really look
reenact.
like it?
Yeah. Go watch them online. They had a show I think about 2 weeks ago. It started off their season. Now they're keeping records, and it's actually like they can go compete. There's another group coming that they compete against throughout time. So it's good stuff. There's all the guests. They'll be on the left side of the bottom gym. Oh, sorry. This house, there will be no guests. Don't go to that house. Buy that house, though. It's a good house.
It's a nice house, actually.
Yeah, buy that house.
You got a water station.
We got a water station this year.
Got a fan.
So we knew where to put them because we're like, we got to still keep it cool because, we hope it doesn't get hot, but, fans love it. And if we get 2,000 people, I mean, you had those people in any room, we'd be sweating here if we added 100 more people. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I get nervous every year, but, with our guests and our volunteers and just even fans are like, something will be going on, nothing crazy. Like, you need our help? And I'm like, yeah. And they'll come by and we'll lift something. And everybody's it's a super nice place. Everybody's very similar mindset. We've had maybe 1 or 2 issues in 2 years. And they're very, very easy, very quick to deal with. Security's great. So it's been awesome. Rio's super supportive. They, their police officers are there pretty much all day, making sure where people go. And it's a lot of fun. We thank a lot of you for that.
There we go.
Sound good. Oh yeah, look at that. Snack and pop machine.
Woo!
Scan around here too.
I guess I can say something that we haven't even posted yet because I was going to do it at the show. But every year we always have a big prize, and it was like a PS5 or a Switch. And we realized that we had an arcade cabinet once. So people like games, and there's some people that don't like games at all. It's not their thing. Yeah. Our big prize this year, which you can buy the tickets for, I think they're $3 or 10 for 5, something you'll have to check. But one person will win. We'll have the drawing at 3:15 right before a panel, and you win a $400 shopping spree because it's May 4th, $400, and it has to be used at the show. It can be used on autographs. It can be used at any mix of vendor booths. one of our staff will go around with you. You can pick anything and everything you want at the show and basically win $400 worth of merchandise from there. So I was like, oh, that'll be good. That'll give people like, hey, I still encourage people to buy things before 3 o'clock because, things still may disappear if you're like, I'm just going to see if I win. No, I've watched $300 or $400 leather hats by Lockwood Leather go within the first 20 minutes. That's a big ticket item,
Yeah.
So he brought it the first year. He's like, I just bring it as a piece so people can see. He said the second person was like, 400? Okay, cool. And he was like, oh, okay. We've had vendors run out of merchandise at the show just because they've sold so much. And I'm like, hey, you can pack up if you want. I was like, I don't, you can keep talking.
Out of here.
Yeah. I was like, let's take a little bit of heat and we'll just, But no, it's a lot of fun.
Well, good deal. Well, it sounds like a great time. This coming Saturday, final BossCon at the University of Rio Grande. And you can check out their website.
Yep.
And you buy tickets at the door. Only $7.
It'll be a good time. Good time.
Bam. Website.
Oh, I'm like,
I'm blind.
Oh.
down in the
Oh, my.
Yeah, there it is.
I like
There
it.
you go.
Awesome. That'll help a lot. You can go in there and see everything and see the prices for all the special guests. They'll have a lot of stuff to sign, too. So come out and see them. Super nice. And I appreciate you guys very much for having me, as
We
always.
appreciate you
Thank you.
coming in. And it's always fun to learn new things. So we appreciate your explaining some things.
I love us. Hopefully, I didn't talk too much, but I try to get everything. So thank you.
All good. All good. All right. Well, we got to get out of here for the day. We thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.